morning. I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for streaming with us. In today's update, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is back. 32 states are now resuming use of the one-dose vaccine after federal health officials lifted the 11-day pause, adding a new warning about increased risk for extremely rare blood clots, particularly in women under 50. Out of 8 million administered doses, the CDC found 15 women experienced those clots, but they conclude the vaccine's benefits far outweigh the risks. The CDC also reports nearly 24% of Americans aren't inclined to get any vaccine, and that about 5 million people may have missed the recommended time frame for their second dose. If you're planning a trip to Europe, you may have another reason to get that second dose. The New York Times reports vaccinated Americans will be allowed to visit places like Paris, Barcelona, and Rome again as soon as this summer. Europe effectively closed its borders over a year ago due to the pandemic. Americans wanting to travel there can do so with a green passport by presenting either a negative COVID test, a positive antibody test, or a vaccine certificate from the CDC. And it was an Oscar night like no other. Daniel Kaluuya's performance in Judas and the Black Messiah earned him Best Supporting Actor. Ye Jung-yoon is the first Korean woman ever to win Best Supporting Actress. And Chloe Zhao, now the first woman of color to be named Best Director.
What a crazy, once-in-a-lifetime journey we're on together.
And the night's biggest upset, Anthony Hopkins winning Best Actor over the late Chadwick Boseman. And that win by Hopkins was yet another history-making moment. At 83, he's now the oldest actor to ever win an Oscar. The stars celebrated their exciting wins both on camera and behind the scenes, and our Lara Spencer got to speak with the night's big winners right after they got their gold. Take a look.
History was made last night with Chloe Zhao winning Best Director for the drama Nomadland.
Chloe, you made history tonight as the first woman of color to win Best Director.
I think if we stay true to ourselves and surround ourselves with incredibly talented and good people and tell stories that we feel truly connected to, and everything else will work out.
In one of the most moving moments of the night, actor and producer Tyler Perry receiving a standing ovation, accepting his honorary Oscar, calling for social justice.
I want to take this Jean Hersel Humanitarian Award and dedicate it to anyone who wants to stand in the middle, no matter what's around the walls, stand in the middle, because that's where healing happens. That's where conversation happens. That's where change happens.
I really loved your words when you talked about everybody meeting in the middle.
That's where healing happens. That is where you get a chance to understand other people. So that is my hope.
Talk to us about the picture that you're seeing being in the room.
You know, just looking at the amount of representation from everyone, it's really encouraging. As special as this award is, it is so great that more people have the opportunity to have it. I'm really proud of that because I remember Hattie McDaniels having to sit in the back of the theater. Well, actually, I don't think she was allowed in the room until she got her Oscar, and then she had to leave the room. So to see this kind of representation, I think she and everybody else who's fought for it would be very happy.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottoms, Mia Neal, and Jamaica Wilson becoming the first black women to bring home the Oscar statue in the hair and makeup category ever.
How does it feel to make history?
Don't make me cry.
No,
Don't make me cry.
Honored. I mean, I just never in a million years, thought I would be in this position. I'm looking forward to more African American women and men and being nominated for awards.
Minari star Yoo Jung-yoon making history as the first Korean to take home Oscar Gold for acting.
To be recognized here in the United States, how is that for you?
I don't know how to describe yet. Maybe tomorrow, about a week later.
It had to be pretty special to get that Oscar from Brad Pitt.
Mr. Brad Pitt, finally. Nice to meet you. I think so. It wasn't real to me, but he was very handsome and your idol. We call idol, like handsome guy.
And the Oscar goes to Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah.
And Daniel Kaluuya stunning audiences with his layered performance in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Congratulations to you, Oscar winner. Is it the experience you dreamed it would be now that you are, in fact, an Oscar winner?
I never really dreamed of it. Not in this kind of that way. I don't really live life with expectations.
Kaluuya also stunning the audience with this off-the-cuff moment in his acceptance speech for Best Supporting Actor.
It's incredible. My mum, my dad, they had sex. It's amazing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm here. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy to be alive.
I really just have to go back to your mom because she looked so cute when you mentioned her in your speech.
She's a cutie. She's a cutie. She's a funny lady. She's a funny lady. And, you know, it's like, you know, I'm in this position because of her, you know?
All right, thanks to Lara Spencer for pulling those moments out. And I'd like to bring in ABC News contributor and SiriusXM's Mike Muse, senior writer for ESPN's The Undefeated Kelly Carter, and ABC News reporter Will Gans for a little bit more on all of this. Mike, I want to start with you. 9 of the 20 acting nominations went to people of color this year. And when you look at the wins, Yoo Jung-yoon became the first Korean actor to win an Oscar for acting. And for the first time ever, we saw a woman of color, Chloe Zhao, won Best Director. Anthony Hopkins is now the oldest person to ever win an Oscar. You know, we all remember Oscars so white and the general conversation about the lack of diversity among the award shows. What did you think of the diversity this year?
Diana, I absolutely loved the diversity of the Oscars this year. And as you and I were talking, I called it for Yoo Jung-yoon. She was absolutely fantastic in Minari, and she was so deserving of that award. I lit up when she won, and just the innocence of her and the excitement and pure joy was amazing. What we saw is over years systematically change of the Academy and how they did their membership categories. They actively went after younger members, and they actively went after more diverse members. And I think that it showed in terms of how those new members were thinking about their selections, how they were looking at different types of movies that maybe older Academy members wouldn't have paid attention to. I think Glenn Close hinted to that when she talked about Spike Lee's School Days with that song, Debut. But then also, too, is work. And I think this is meaning that when you implement change and you mean it in earnest, you get a night like we had last night.
And Kelly, it wasn't just the actors, also the movies highlighted this year. So many of them tackled cultural issues, even including last night's winner for Best Short, Two Distant Strangers. So what do you make of that, the kind of stories that are being celebrated?
I mean, honestly, these are the films that are resonating with real audiences, but most certainly with the voting members of the Academy. And the fact that some of these stories are period pieces, quite frankly, because you're talking in some cases about the 1940s, you know, like a preamble to modern day civil rights movement with, Andra Day's portrayal of Billie Holiday, to Judas and the Black Messiah, the late 1960s. These are still the same headlines that we're seeing, unfortunately, in 2021. And I think voters are taking notice, and they're recognizing the role that, you know, in some cases, systematic racism plays in art and creativity, but also in the people that are bringing these stories to life. And I think that also feels really special to see that acknowledged on Hollywood's biggest stage.
And Will, we asked you about some standout moments, and you immediately said that you could talk about Yoo Jung-yoon forever and ever. Now, I don't have that much time, but I can give you a few seconds here. Why did you love seeing her win so much?
Well, I think kind of what Mike mentioned at the top there. I mean, this is like the Meryl Streep of South Korea, right? She's been in the game for 54 years. And then we get a night like last night, a kind of a culmination of this incredible career. It's a historic win. And then she's just so genuine and so funny. I mean, during her speech, you saw Amanda Seyfried mouth, "I just love her." And we all just loved her. I mean, gushing over Brad Pitt. It's like one of us going up there and winning an Oscar. So super relatable, but at the same time, you know, she's put in the work, and it was so rewarding to see a hilarious speech, which, by the way, I've watched like 37 times. There are 9 LOL moments during the speech. It was just the star of the show. It was her Oscars.
And not the first time she's made audiences laugh with her acceptance speeches, I might add. Now, Mike, you, like so many others, you said on this show more than once that Chadwick Boseman was a lock for Best Actor. What did you think when they announced Anthony Hopkins?
I gotta be honest, I was very disappointed. And this is coming from a person who has watched all the movies. I've watched all the performances. And so Chadwick Boseman didn't deserve it just because of his catalog of movies that he has, but he deserved it because he actually delivered a fantastic portrayal in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The empathy that showed, the range that he showed, and the way that he was able to drive that movie forward and carry the cadence and the beats while delivering very powerful performance of range. I was very disappointed last night that Chadwick Boseman did not come away with the winner of that. I'm not taking anything away from Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins is an incredible actor. He is fantastic. But I do believe that Chadwick Boseman should have walked away with that Oscar going to his family and to his estate.
And Hopkins did pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman as well when he issued his statement, thanking everybody for the award and saying how honored he was to receive it. But I do want to get all of your favorite moments for the night. And Mike, I'll go back to you. I'll start with you there. You talked about that big moment that disappointed you. What was the big moment that got you really excited last night?
Diane, I kind of talked about at the beginning. I literally stood up when Glenn Close talked about the butt. She knew go-go. She knew the history of go-go. It's cultural to DC. She shouted out Spike Lee, who has been dismissed by the Academy for a very long time. Spike Lee should have been nominated multiple times over for his films. His songs should have been nominated, and the actors who played in his films should be nominated. So for Glenn Close to bring that up in such a short, off-the-cuff moment, to me, that was one of the highlights of the Oscars last night.
I don't know if my mic was open, but if you heard me laughing, I wasn't laughing at you, Mike. We were showing video of Glenn Close dancing last night during the awards show. Just awesome. I think she might have had the best night of anyone. She was definitely having the best time. Kelly, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was Daniel Kaluuya because he was my sure shot the entire award season. And he was the last person I saw on the red carpet as I was leaving. And I was like, you got this, good luck. And then when he got up there and made this really passionate speech where he talked about the Black Panthers, he talked about Fred Hampton, which I thought was important. And then he talked about his parents consummating and creating him, which I thought was fun. And also, he basically was paying parents back everywhere who have spent years embarrassing their children, I guess. So that was kind of a fun moment to see his mom react to that as well.
The family reaction to that one was absolutely priceless. That was one of those moments that I could have watched over and over again. Will Gans, you told us about Ye Jung-yoon. I know that was a big one for you. Was there another moment of the night that sticks out?
I mean, not to beat a dead horse here, but Glenn Close has now lost the Oscar 8 times, which means she's tied for the most losses without ever winning. But she really won the Oscars last night with that dance. I mean, I literally was like, go off, Glenn. It was just one of those purely joyful live television moments. And I don't think anyone in that room saw it coming. We didn't see it coming either. So I got to give moment of the night probably to Glenn.
There was a lot of joy in the room last night, for sure, and I think we all needed a little bit of that. Mike Muse, Kelly Carter, Will Gans, you all bring me joy. Thank you guys for joining me. All right, back to the serious news now. The U.S. Supreme Court announced that it's taking up 3 new cases this fall, including one that could have big implications for state gun laws. Justices will hear arguments on whether concealed carry license laws violate the Second Amendment. New York currently prohibits citizens from carrying a handgun outside the home without a license and only issues licenses to those who can show proper cause for needing a gun. Gun rights groups are pushing the court to affirm what they call a fundamental right to carry a gun. And Elizabeth City, North Carolina is under a state of emergency ahead of the possible release of body camera footage in the fatal police shooting of Andrew Brown. When we come back, our team has the latest from Elizabeth City. Welcome back. Elizabeth City, North Carolina is under a state of emergency ahead of the possible release of body cam footage in the fatal police shooting, that is, of Andrew Brown. The 42-year-old father of 7 was shot and killed by deputies who were reportedly executing warrants related to felony drug charges. Our Victor Akendo is in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, with the latest.
No justice! This morning, a community demanding answers after sheriff's deputies shot and killed 42-year-old father of 7, Andrew Brown Jr.
Special advisor Ian Nelson's got one male, 42 years of age, gunshot to the back.
According to the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department, the shooting occurred as deputies who were wearing body cameras were executing warrants related to felony drug charges in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, last Wednesday morning.
If any of my deputies broke any laws or violated any policies that come out through this investigation, they will be held accountable.
Officials have released few details, but 7 sheriff's deputies have been placed on paid administrative leave during the investigation. A neighbor who says she witnessed the shooting says Brown did not pose a threat to the deputies when they opened fire.
He was nonviolent. Anybody that knew him would tell you that. He was driving away.
One of the attorneys representing Brown's family says they were told that investigators did not find any drugs or weapons at the scene. Brown's family is devastated by the loss.
And now I gotta live every day, my newborn, without even getting a chance to meet him at all. And that's gonna hurt me every day.
They will view the body cam footage later this morning and are calling for it to be released publicly for transparency and accountability.
It's inexplicable why when a black person, especially a black man, runs from the police, not posing any threat of violence to them, that they still see fit to shoot them in the back.
And Victor Kendo joins me now for more on this. Hi, Victor. So Elizabeth City, we understand, is under a state of emergency this morning. What can you tell us about that? What's it like there right now?
Well, Diane, the mayor citing the possibility of civil unrest once that body cam footage gets released. Still no word on the timing of that just yet, but that's why we're under a state of emergency here. I can tell you that protesters have been gathering since early this morning, but they have been totally peaceful, just like they have been for about a week now. Police are not taking any chances, though. They've closed off a lot of the streets here in the downtown area. What we can tell you is that before that video gets released to the public, Brown's family will have a chance to watch it privately. That's going to happen in a matter of minutes here, and once they do, they'll be coming out and speaking to the media. Diane?
And Victor, when the shooting happened, police say they were executing a search warrant. What more do we know about the circumstances that led up to this shooting?
Diane, we just got a copy of that warrant moments ago, and I just had a chance to read through it. What it says quickly here, it states that an informant purchased different quantities of crack cocaine, heroin, and meth from Brown on numerous occasions for more than a year. Officials have released very few details, though, but we know that 7 sheriff's deputies have been placed on paid administrative leave during the investigation into this fatal shooting. Exactly what happened, though, is the question, and that's why you're seeing the outcry from Brown's family, his community, North Carolina's governor, even the sheriff's office wants this body cam video made public. But here's the deal in North Carolina. According to the sheriff, it is not up to the sheriff's office to release the video. It is up to a judge to approve it. That has to be done through a court order, and that could happen as early as today. Diane?
All right, a lot of people waiting to see that video. Victor Kendo in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, thank you. And that does it for this ABC News Live update. I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for joining us. And remember, ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. I'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern with Terry Moran for The Breakdown. Stay safe.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died. The Soviets may have been fairly quick to acknowledge the accident because evidence in the form of mild nuclear radiation had already reached beyond the Soviet borders to Scandinavia.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.